There's a quiet kind of strength in men over 65. It's not just about muscle or stamina. It's the kind of strength that's earned through years of showing up, carrying burdens, raising families, building careers, surviving heartbreaks, and holding steady in storms. But somewhere along the way, the body starts whispering things. Joints stiffen. Energy dips. That once unstoppable drive starts to slow, not because the will is gone, but because the engine needs different fuel. And that's where this story begins. Because the idea that aging means fading is outdated. False. In fact, science shows us something radically hopeful, that the right nutrients, real, whole, healing foods, can reignite energy, improve circulation, and support muscle function, even sharpen the mind. And among the most powerful allies in this journey, fruit. Yes, fruit. Not just sweet treats in the background of a breakfast plate, but strategic, nutrient-dense, restorative foods. And not all fruits are equal, especially for men who want to stay strong, mobile, and vital into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. Today, we're going to walk through the orchard differently. We're going to see fruit as medicine, as energy, as fuel. We'll explore what the research says, what ancient traditions knew, and what modern science is only beginning to confirm. This isn't a list. This is a reintroduction to what your body still craves, and what it responds to with gratitude when you listen. Fruits that help move blood, strengthen muscle fibers, restore testosterone pathways, and even protect the brain from decline. And we start with one of the most unexpected heroes of male longevity. A fruit that has silently supported warriors, athletes, and wise men for centuries, and is now backed by dozens of modern studies for circulation, endurance, and strength. The pomegranate. Rich, complex, and filled with ruby-colored seeds, the pomegranate isn't just beautiful, it's a biological powerhouse. But to understand why, we need to zoom into the body. Specifically, the circulatory system. As we age, blood vessels tend to stiffen. Endothelial function, that's the inner lining of your blood vessels, begins to falter. That's when blood doesn't flow as smoothly. That's when you start feeling colder in the limbs. Slower to recover after exercise. Less energized in the morning. Even, for many men, less virile. Enter punicalagin, the pomegranate star compound. It's a polyphenol that not only reduces oxidative stress but actively supports nitric oxide production, the key molecule that allows blood vessels to relax and widen. Think of it like oiling the pipes. Blood flows better. Oxygen delivery improves. And with that, everything gets a boost. Muscle recovery, heart function, and yes, even sexual performance. In one groundbreaking study from Israel, men who consumed pomegranate juice daily for 3 months saw significant improvements in blood flow and a drop in blood pressure. Another study found that testosterone levels were higher in men who regularly consumed pomegranate, compared to a control group. But this isn't about becoming someone else. This is about returning to the version of you who wakes up with purpose, who walks with confidence, who feels, deep in the bones, that life is not winding down, but opening up. And the beauty of it is that it's simple. You don't need a lab or a prescription. You need a glass, or a handful of arrows, or a drizzle of pomegranate molasses over your salad. It's delicious. It's natural. And it speaks the language of your cells. And when you pair pomegranate with leafy greens like arugula or spinach, foods also rich in nitrates, the effect compounds. The nitric oxide effect strengthens. Your blood vessels open up even more. It's synergy, not magic. Just biology, working in your favor. We're just getting started. Next, we'll meet another fruit, dark, rich, and quietly legendary, that helps preserve muscle and protects the aging brain. It's not just sweet. It's strategic. If pomegranate is the fruit of kings, then berries are the quiet guardians of warriors. There's something timeless about a handful of blueberries, or blackberries, or cherries. These small, unassuming fruits have been growing wild for millennia, picked by hunters, foraged by farmers, and preserved in cold cellars long before refrigeration ever existed. But now, we know what our ancestors could only feel. These fruits don't just satisfy hunger. They preserve the body. Let's talk blueberries first. Inside each one is a dense world of anthocyanins, a family of antioxidants that are turning out to be game changers for men over 65.
Why?
Because they fight oxidative stress at the cellular level. That's the quiet, invisible wear and tear on your body that builds up over time, from pollution, from poor sleep, from decades of daily life. Blueberries have been studied extensively for their impact on the brain. In a landmark study published in the Annals of Neurology, older adults who consumed at least one serving of blueberries or strawberries per week experienced significantly slower rates of cognitive decline. We're talking about memory, attention, processing speed, all the things that begin to slow down with age, unless you feed the brain what it needs. And it's not just about memory. Blueberries and their cousins also play a powerful role in protecting and even restoring muscle tissue. You see, muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, accelerates after 60. It's not just about appearance. It's about mobility, balance, the ability to get out of a chair or climb stairs without strain. And studies have found that anthocyanins in berries can actually reduce inflammation and muscle damage after exertion, especially when paired with light resistance training. That means walking, squatting, stretching, followed by a berry smoothie, isn't just tasty. It's a recovery plan. One that helps preserve the very thing men need most in their 60s and 70s. Functional strength. And here's where food synergy comes in again. Want to take that smoothie up a notch? Add a scoop of Greek yogurt or kefir for protein and probiotics. Then toss in a tablespoon of ground flaxseed for omega-3s and fiber. Now you've got a triple power blend: antioxidants for your brain, protein for your muscles, and good fats for your heart and hormones. And what about tart cherries? These deep red jewels are a secret weapon for inflammation. Athletes swear by tart cherry juice to reduce post-workout soreness, and science backs it up. But for older men, the benefits go even further. Tart cherries help regulate uric acid, a key factor in gout, and they support melatonin production, which means better, deeper sleep. Think about that. A fruit that helps your joints and your sleep cycle? That's not just smart eating. That's strategy for long-term strength. And let's not forget the emotional piece. There's something deeply nourishing about sitting down with a bowl of fresh berries. No rush. No multitasking. Just the act of honoring your body with something real. Something alive. Something that reminds you, health isn't punishment. It's pleasure. And every cell in your body remembers how to thrive, if you give it the tools. So as you walk through the grocery store or the farmer's market, don't walk past those tiny cartons of berries. Pick them up. Take them home. Freeze them if you must. But eat them often. Eat them like your vitality depends on it. Because in many ways, it does. Next, we're going tropical. And we're meeting a fruit that's been wrongly feared, but holds one of the most powerful tools for men's testosterone, heart health, and endurance. You've seen it sliced, grilled, and even on pizza. But what you don't know about this fruit might just shift how you age. Pineapple. Sweet. Juicy. Tropical. Sometimes controversial on pizza, always underestimated in health conversations. But for men over 65, this fruit might be one of the most powerful allies in the fight for vitality, because what lives beneath its golden flesh is more than just flavor. It's fuel for movement, for recovery, and even for hormone balance. Let's start with what sets pineapple apart: bromelain. Bromelain is a natural enzyme complex found almost exclusively in pineapple, particularly in the core and juice. It's known for its powerful anti-inflammatory effects, the kind that go beyond just easing joint discomfort. It actually supports the breakdown of fibrin and helps reduce swelling in tissues. In practical terms, it makes movement easier, recovery faster, and inflammation less likely to linger. This matters, especially in older men, because chronic low-grade inflammation, the type that doesn't always hurt but slows everything down, is often the hidden enemy of strength, energy, and longevity. It blocks hormone receptors. It damages blood vessels. It even interferes with sleep. Now imagine you had a fruit, sweet, satisfying, and easy to include in meals, that actually helped clear the path so your body could heal, build, and recover more freely. That's what pineapple can do. But the story gets even more interesting when we talk about testosterone, the hormone most associated with male vitality, muscle mass, energy levels, and yes, confidence. As men age, natural testosterone production declines. It's not a crisis, it's a shift. But it can be supported naturally. And one of the best ways to do that is by lowering cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and it directly competes with testosterone. When cortisol is high, from poor sleep, mental stress, or inflammation, testosterone dips. Here's where pineapple shines again. It contains vitamin C, and not just a little. 1 cup of pineapple offers over 100% of your daily vitamin C needs. And vitamin C has been shown in clinical studies to reduce cortisol levels significantly. That means less hormonal interference, and more room for testosterone to do its job. Pineapple also delivers manganese, a trace mineral often overlooked, but essential for reproductive health, collagen production, and antioxidant defense. Older men are often deficient in manganese, yet just 1 cup of pineapple provides nearly 77% of the recommended daily intake. And let's talk circulation. The bromelain vitamin C combo helps blood move more freely, which supports heart health, physical endurance, and even sexual performance, all without any synthetic boosters or pills. Now, how do you get the most from pineapple? First, don't throw away the core. That fibrous center is where bromelain lives. Blend it into smoothies or juice it. If you're worried about sweetness, pair it with Greek yogurt, chia seeds, or even cucumber to balance blood sugar impact. Second, timing matters. After a workout, pineapple can help speed muscle recovery and reduce soreness. In the evening, it can support digestion and promote relaxation, especially when paired with a calming herbal tea like chamomile. Third, combine it smartly. Pineapple with a few Brazil nuts gives you selenium and vitamin E, further supporting hormonal function and heart health. Or try pineapple salsa over grilled salmon for a meal that boosts testosterone, lowers inflammation, and satisfies your palate. This isn't about eating tropical fruit to chase youth. It's about using what nature already provides to support who you are, a man with experience, wisdom, and a body that still wants to move, build, and live fully. And there's more. Because the next fruit on our list doesn't just protect your heart, it also supports blood sugar, eye health, and cellular energy in a way that few others can. It's dark. It's ancient. And it holds one of the most complete packages of age-defying compounds in the entire fruit kingdom. They hang in clusters like jewels. Green, red, black, or deep violet. Grapes have long been symbols of celebration, abundance, and harvest. But beneath their delicate skin is a nutritional code that speaks directly to what men over 65 need most: cellular energy, blood vessel health, and sharpness of vision. Let's begin with one of the most studied compounds in anti-aging science, resveratrol. Resveratrol is a polyphenol found in the skins of red and purple grapes. It's been hailed for years as the French paradox compound, the reason researchers believe French men could consume rich foods and red wine, yet maintain low rates of heart disease. But what's most fascinating about resveratrol isn't just its impact on the heart. It's how it interacts with mitochondria, the tiny energy factories in your cells. As we age, mitochondria become less efficient. They slow down, break down, and produce less energy. That's why you feel sluggish even after a full night's sleep. Why your muscles don't recover like they used to. Why your motivation dips without clear reason. But studies have shown that resveratrol can actually stimulate mitochondrial biogenesis, meaning it helps the body create new mitochondria and repair old ones. That's real anti-aging science. That's energy restoration from the inside out. But grapes don't stop there. They're also rich in quercetin, another polyphenol that reduces inflammation and supports immune resilience. Together, these compounds act like a daily reset button, lowering systemic stress on the body, enhancing oxygen delivery, and allowing your cells to function more youthfully. Let's not forget eye health, an often overlooked part of men's well-being as they age. The retina, one of the most metabolically active tissues in the body, is particularly vulnerable to oxidative stress. But grapes, especially Concord grapes, contain flavonoids and carotenoids that protect the retina and reduce the risk of age-related macular degeneration. Now, some men worry about the sugar in grapes. And it's a fair concern, especially for those managing insulin sensitivity or metabolic health. But here's the truth. When grapes are eaten in whole form, skin, fiber, and all, their natural sugars are buffered by fiber and antioxidants, making their glycemic impact much gentler than juice or refined snacks. So here's how to eat them wisely. Pair grapes with protein or fat, like a handful of walnuts, a slice of aged cheese, or a few pumpkin seeds. This slows sugar absorption and enhances nutrient synergy. Grapes and walnuts, for example, are both brain-protective and anti-inflammatory. Together, they form a kind of neurological armor. Freeze them for a refreshing snack that feels indulgent but delivers cardiovascular and mitochondrial support. Roast them with rosemary and serve alongside grilled chicken or salmon. The heat concentrates their flavor, and the rosemary adds its own circulatory benefits. This isn't just about grapes. It's about energy, real, sustainable, internal energy that comes from feeding your body what it was designed to recognize and use. It's about honoring the fact that at 65 and beyond, your body isn't broken, it's just recalibrating. And when you nourish it correctly, it responds with gratitude. So whether you enjoy grapes at a summer picnic or in a morning bowl with yogurt and seeds, you're doing more than eating a snack. You're sending a message to your cells: I'm still in the game. I still have things to do. Let's go. But now, let's go deeper. Because the next fruit is often misunderstood. It's creamy, not sweet. Technically a berry. And it holds the key to hormone support, heart resilience, and long-term vitality, especially in men over 65. It's not what you think of when you hear fruit. But it may be the most important one yet. Avocado. You might not think of it as a fruit, but it is. A berry, in fact, with a single giant seed and an unmistakably rich, buttery flesh. And for men over 65, it might just be one of the most complete fruits nature has ever designed. Avocado isn't loud. It doesn't scream sweetness or color. But it does something even more profound. It nourishes every system that aging tries to slow down: your heart, your hormones, your brain, and even your joints. Let's start with healthy fats. Avocados are packed with monounsaturated fats, specifically oleic acid, the same fat found in olive oil, which has been shown to reduce inflammation and support cardiovascular health. These fats help lower LDL, bad, cholesterol and raise HDL, good, cholesterol. For older men, that's not just about preventing heart disease, it's about fueling circulation, oxygen delivery, and endurance. But beyond the heart, these fats are essential for testosterone production. Yes, your body needs cholesterol and fat to synthesize hormones. That's biological fact. And men who avoid all fats in fear of weight gain may unknowingly reduce their body's ability to maintain healthy hormone levels. Avocados provide the good kind, the kind that supports endocrine health, not damages it. Now, let's talk about nutrient density. One avocado contains over 20 different vitamins and minerals, including vitamin K, for bone strength and blood flow; potassium, for blood pressure and muscle function, more than a banana; vitamin B6, which plays a crucial role in regulating mood and energy; folate, for cellular repair and brain health; magnesium, the master mineral for over 300 bodily processes, including sleep quality and testosterone support. And here's something few people know: avocados are also a great source of glutathione, the master antioxidant. It supports liver detoxification, immune resilience, and reduces oxidative stress. That means every slice of avocado is not just creamy, it's cleansing. Now, how do you eat it in a way that supports long-term vitality? Start your day with it. Spread it on sprouted grain toast with a poached egg. That combo gives you fiber, fat, and complete protein, keeping you full, focused, and energized. Add it to smoothies. A quarter of an avocado blended with berries, spinach, and almond milk adds creaminess without sugar, and gives your body a dose of fat-soluble vitamins that are better absorbed with fat present. Use it in salads with citrus fruits like oranges or grapefruit. The vitamin C boosts collagen production and immune function, while the avocado's fat helps absorb carotenoids from the leafy greens. It's not trendy. It's timeless. Because here's the truth no one says enough: masculinity doesn't expire. Strength doesn't disappear. And vitality isn't reserved for the young. The body just needs new tools, smarter strategies, and food that speaks its language. Avocado speaks it fluently. You've made it this far because you believe something many don't: that health can get better with age. That your best years can still feel like your best. And that every choice you make now is a vote for that version of you. But before we close, we need to talk about one last fruit. It's humble. It's often seen as just a snack. But it holds a secret weapon for energy, digestion, testosterone, and even bone strength in a single, sun-dried package. It's sweet. It's simple. And it finishes this journey with something rare: ease. In the deserts of the Middle East, where the sun scorches the earth and life must adapt or perish, one tree thrives, giving rise to a fruit so nutrient-rich, so sustaining, that entire civilizations have relied on it for survival. That fruit is the date. And for men over 65, the date isn't just a treat. It's a gift, from nature, from history, and from biology itself. Dates are small, but concentrated with energy, both in calories and in life-giving compounds that support muscles, bones, digestion, and hormonal resilience. Let's begin with potassium, often forgotten, but absolutely essential. Dates contain more potassium per gram than bananas. And why does that matter? Because potassium helps balance sodium in the body, regulate blood pressure, reduce muscle cramps, and maintain fluid balance. For older men, potassium is the quiet regulator behind strong workouts, stable heartbeats, and relaxed nerves. But dates also bring magnesium, copper, manganese, and selenium, all critical for testosterone production, enzyme activity, and bone mineralization. That's especially important as testosterone naturally declines with age, and bones become more vulnerable to weakening. Now, let's talk digestion. A single medjool date contains around 1.5 grams of fiber, the kind that supports regular bowel movements, gut bacteria diversity, and even helps lower cholesterol. Fiber is the unsung hero of men's health, especially for those struggling with sluggish digestion or discomfort after meals. But there's another benefit of dates that most men never consider: boron. Boron is a trace mineral found in dates that has been shown in studies to support testosterone levels, joint health, and even cognitive function. It's not often discussed, but it plays a unique role in how the body manages inflammation and hormone balance. Dates are also incredibly versatile. Yes, they're sweet, but they don't spike blood sugar like processed desserts. That's because their fiber content slows the release of glucose into the bloodstream, giving you stable energy without the crash. And when you combine dates with protein or fat, like almonds, walnuts, or a smear of nut butter, the effect is amplified. You get steady energy, sustained focus, and the kind of quiet power that fuels everything from workouts to clear thinking to intimacy. Here's how to bring them into your day. Pre-workout: 1 or 2 dates with a few raw almonds give you a quick, efficient burst of fuel. Afternoon slump: skip the cookie, grab a date stuffed with peanut butter or tahini. Evening treat: chop dates into plain Greek yogurt with cinnamon and walnuts for a satisfying, hormone-supportive dessert. They're portable. They don't spoil. And they've fed warriors, scholars, and elders for centuries. Why? Because they work. So now, you've walked through an orchard of wisdom. From the nitric oxide boosting power of pomegranates, to the antioxidant strength of berries, to the enzyme-rich benefits of pineapple, to the mitochondrial support of grapes, to the hormone-stabilizing magic of avocado, and the mineral-rich strength of dates. Each fruit is a tool, a piece of a much larger picture. Because aging doesn't mean decline. It means refinement. And with the right choices, your body will respond, not just with gratitude, but with strength, with clarity, with presence. You don't need to be 30 again. You need to be powerful at 65, nimble at 70, wise and strong and full of life at 80 and beyond. That starts not with extremes, but with consistency. With simple, beautiful foods that know how to communicate with your biology, because they've been part of the human story since the beginning. So take this as your permission slip, to eat for energy, for strength, for joy. To wake up tomorrow with purpose. To move your body, feed it wisely, and live the years ahead not as a slow fade, but as a rising sun. Because the second act is yours. And it can be brilliant.